Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to A Hat in Time. So we finished the game, but we didn't do the DLC. So it took beating the whole game to get 35 timepieces to even unlock chapter 6 here, which is the one bit of DLC that I guess you have to have before you can go into the DLC. Now maybe that's because this storyline seems like it might include all the characters in the main game going on a cruise, and they just wanted it to feel like it's chronologically later in the events. But the game has been pretty open to you just running around and going from one place to another place, and the Yakuza Metro clearly is not set in such a way that you can't just jump into it at any point. If anything, I would argue that the Yakuza Metro in particular, just an invisible wall stopping me here. So here's the questionable part about this. Is we've got these characters in this level, and what is it going to possibly be as far as an open world? Like, that really couldn't happen, could it? Like, this might be a giant boat that maybe sails all around
the tickets
different
for this
world.
thing are pricey, but we helped ourselves to the old one flipper discount, if you know what I mean.
That doesn't even make sense. It's supposed to be the 5-finger discount as a reference to shoplifting, but they don't have any fingers, but they have 2 flippers. So, and that barely makes sense. Alright. So, it looks like it might be a pretty big thing, but unless it was going to do a Mario 64 type thing, where we're jumping through paintings and going to different places around the world, that's going to be weird. Look, we've got little baby owls. So this is his family. This would have been good characterization for the conductor.
Well, if it isn't the little lass. How's stardom treating you? Oh, and sorry about the whole knife incident.
Still got the knife
What's a
in
wee
his...
argument between colleagues though, right, Lassie? Anyway, I better go ask about the childcare on board. I love these little blighters, but I can't bring them to the bar with me, can I?
So, yeah, just more characterization there would be super helpful. Looks like there's something that you can almost see over here on the edge. Almost like this is potentially Dead Bird Studio on the other side.
Are we ready to sail?
They're introducing this new 2-cigarette smoking character and these little not penguins, that would be the wrong term. Seagulls? Seals, that's what they are. So this is just like Titanic, is what it looks like. And then little cardboard cutouts of people. And so you can see over the edge, but I don't think you could actually get over the edge. You'd probably just hit an invisible wall. And there's no little secrets or anything. This little drain doesn't probably mean anything. It would be nice if it meant something. And there was some kind of secret to doing something like that, but we know that's not the case. There's not going to be anything here. This door closed. We started with that door open. So what I would have wanted in DLC, more than anything else. Ooh, this water is freezing me very quickly. So that's not something I can deal with. What I would have wanted is this DLC to give another big open area like Mafia Town. I'd like to see a commitment to all future levels, including the sequel to this game that probably will get made, having mostly open world levels with maybe shorter single point A to point B platforming sections for boss fights.
Hey there, dude. I'm like ready for a nice cruise. Aren't
He's
you?
a creepy fish
Hopefully
guy.
There's nothing fishy about this ship, you know? I got ripped off on a dodgy vacation last year. It was like not rad at all.
I suppose Gears for Breakfast, the creators of this game, could just say forget it and not make a sequel, a direct sequel to A Hat in Time. They could instead decide that they're better off taking the general concepts and trying over again with new characters and more of a focus on characterization. I mean, you certainly could do that, and it's not like Hat Girl at the end of the story was particularly interesting as a character or had any backstory at all.
First you kill me, then you torment me by booking passage on the only cruise liner here with facilities for people in jars. Such a rude little child. Were I not in a pleasant holiday mood, and still without a body, I would take my revenge right here and now.
A lot of this comedy feels like it is written to appeal to like a 4-year-old, when I don't feel like it really can. Like, I don't think it really does. It can, certainly, had it been better written. And I don't think I'm willing to just chalk that up to bad writing. Is this the ghost or is this a plant?
Wait a minute. You show up in my forest, assault me, refuse to leave, and then turn up to ruin my vacation too? You really are just the worst, kiddo. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm hiding in a crate. Tickets are expensive.
So, yeah, clearly they wanted you to be able to play the rest of the game first before you had gotten to this point. And all I'm collecting is rift tokens because all the relics have long since been collected. There's a octopus down here that seems like it's trying to hurt me. I took too much damage in the water and now I'm potentially gonna die before I even start really playing the game. There's, I guess, a little bit more here than meets the eye. As far as somebody else is hiding in here. Label on the crate reads PBR. Whoever they are, they're good at making shiny things. I don't get that reference. Maybe that'll get revealed later on. The SS literally can't sink, so obviously it's gonna sink. honestly, making Hat Girl and Mustache Girl the main characters was a mistake. Making kids the characters in a long-term perspective creates a scenario where you just can't have certain things happen. Hold A while diving to cancel. Alright, so it wants me to do that, is what it wanted me to do, but some of these walls also seem like they help you quite a bit so that you don't screw up. Alright. So, jump, swing, get a little bit of angle, and that was quite complicated. Like, even though Mario is totally kid-friendly in all of the games,
Attention, this is your captain speaking.
because Mario is an adult and Princess Peach is an adult, you can still have a hint at a romance that really has never gone anywhere with that.
I'll be on board
She's
shortly.
flipping her hat and dancing, interesting. Whereas if you wanted a romance for Hat Girl, it would have to be a very puppy love romance, and that would be a smart move in a sequel. But also, I would just say in a sequel it would make a lot of good sense to age her up. Let's say she's 10, 11, 12 now. Get her into the 14, 15s. Get her as a teenager. And then you could give her more abilities, more jump abilities.
People buy them anyway.
Like, the only thing left to buy still is just this. So I bet we don't see too many instances of the shopkeeper in the game. It'll be interesting if it turns out that this is kind of the only open area in the game, and I am now collecting everything there is to collect, just as I'm goofing around here, getting my bearings. Says, yeah, it's down that journal direction. It's kind of funny that seals would be in a ship. Then they were just gonna have random people everywhere. But putting people, or having people appear in levels, doesn't make the level particularly better. If each one of these gave us a mission and it started to get a little bit like an RPG game, maybe then there would be some thought that I could to just more entertainment that you could get from that. Interesting. So one assumes that doesn't break, one assumes this doesn't open it. They want me to go that way. But if every character gave us a hint and said, go this way, or I've heard a rumor that there's a collectible in this direction. Yeah, and they're just giving me rift tokens like crazy. Which maybe means that we have egg. He's holding an egg. Yeah. So if if he was not just saying egg, if he was instead pointing towards a collectible or something, that would be cool. I feel like a lot of the characters in Ocarina of Time certainly would have had that similar purpose for existing and reason for existing, is that they acted as a signpost, a breadcrumb. Doesn't seem like there's anything in these toilets. Let's dive. So you can dive off the diving board and swing across, or you can dive, I think, for real. But there's no swimming in this game, and clearly they needed that. That would have been a great way to have us expand the levels without having a lot of content in the game. Actually, it just being able to swim around the edges of Mafia Town alone would have added some elements of entertainment. It wouldn't have been a lot, but it would have been something. As bad as water levels tend to be, the fact that they were totally missing in this game didn't help it. Let's see. It says the next collectible is up here. I guess the irony is I'm gonna start some mission and maybe not even have enough time to finish the mission. Well, there's some ropes that maybe I could bounce off to get up there. So then the question would be, how do I get up to the ropes? Yeah, it's this. That's gonna be a nightmare just to get a unimportant rift going. Getting the jumping right so that you could swing and then jump some more. It's nice that they put those elements in the middle there so that you can climb up. Yeah, and I don't think there's another way to get up to the top, and it would be basically bouncing and jumping from one to the next to the next. So let's see what the actual level they want us to do. So we have a big inside place, and I just
watch your step, miss. It's a big dwarf past this railing.
Yeah, I don't know if I want characters to have speech impediments. They're literally telling you to just jump. Like, well, that was a big drop.
The reception is this way, miss.
This isn't a fair statement to say, frankly, what I'm about to say it anyways. Some of the like cutesy talk here from these seals feels like it is something being done by somebody who is either mentally handicapped trying to appeal to children, or straight up a predator on children that should not be allowed around them. It feels creepier to me than it feels like, oh, this would actually appeal. It feels like something that I think
Mafia
most
used to shipping containers and fish, not luxury cabins.
I think most kids even would not be cool with how some of these characters are written and act. But let's say that this was written for a 4-year-old, which is what it feels like. It doesn't play like a game for a 4-year-old, so whoever was in charge, whoever decided the target market, which it really feels like nobody gave 2 thoughts to what the target market was going to be, really dropped the ball. If this was a super easy game, if this was like a Lego game, and let's face it, even some of the Lego games are not particularly easy for like a 4 or 5-year-old. I'm probably saying 4-year-old and really meaning 8-year-old. But if this was a super easy game, maybe then I could see the childish nature of a lot of this stuff. But when you're doing a lot of jumps like this, that, wow, I'm surprised I pulled that one off, that are just super dangerous and difficult. It's asking too much. You gotta be careful around those guys, I guess. There's nowhere else to go. I mean, let's just look here. There's no open sections or anything like that. So they basically wanted you to fall. And that looks like that's probably a shortcut.
The reception is this way, miss.
Yeah. Or you have the like cutesy seals show up, and then you establish a bad guy who is clubbing the baby seals, and this is like a joke. Like, in a lot of ways, this is reminiscent of the baby seals that are in Overlord, a game where you play as a bad, evil overlord, and there are missions where you're clubbing baby seals to prove just how evil you are. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that really is the exact same 3D model. Of seals. I guess we'll just stick with this hat. There's no big reason not to stay with that hat. Yep. So I jumped down to see an area. Let's see. That doesn't seem like that does anything. That doesn't seem like that does anything. So is this just a hologram map of where you are in a level? So undeniably, this is a bigger level. It's kind of linear, but maybe not as bad as, it's not as linear as some of the other levels we've seen. So maybe we'll find out that the walrus guy is exploiting the seals. Maybe we'll find out that the walrus guy and the seals are bad guys. This passage is blocked. And and you can't do anything with this, right? You can't look off in the distance. Really am in just kind of a weird position where kind of nothing could save this game because I've kind of written it off mentally. It's kind of impossible not to have done that though. Like I've seen the ending. I've seen what the initial offering was. It was okay, but not great. My search, my eternal search, it seems like, for a 3D platforming game that's actually good, that plays on Steam, still seems to be unfulfilled. Bing bong bing.
Attention passengers and crew. The ship is now leaving. Please try not to fall off.
Alright. So all I need is really the time stop app, and I can run through that fine. We're still just looking for collectibles. Let's see what's down here. An electrical level with stuff straight up. Like, what is even the name of this? Bon Voyage. Right. So, the way this seems, this looks like this is probably fine. As long as you, like, you really don't even need to freeze time. Let's see what this guy does.
It'd be real shocking if you slipped. I'm positive they could make it a little safer down here, but I guess that really amp up the costs.
So we saw this guy in the credits. We hadn't met him at all.
Most folks don't appreciate the hard work I put in to keep the mood electric.
So he's either working or plugged directly into the system. He seems to be plugged directly into the system. And here's another relic, which will just be another rift token. Yeah, you can see his arms are going, it looks through the tubes. So I feel like I probably will come back to this area later. And am I supposed to check in? You're all checked in. Now track down that timepiece.
How can I help you?
Aw, man, I already hate this cutesy
Looking for
tonk.
something that looks like this? Well, have I seen that? Thinking very hard.
They broke it?
I remember! We broke one of those and hid it from the captain. He wouldn't be very happy if he knew we made a mess. We tried to clean it up, but we didn't do a very good job, and we lost some of the pieces. I'm very sorry, miss. Please don't be upset.
So, the idea of the timepieces being able to be broken and put back together, one assumes, does potentially expand this game quite a bit. Like, it would have made so much better sense if every chapter there was only one timepiece and you only had to get 6 or 7 to beat the whole game, 5, and then they were just broken and you were getting fragments. That is, I think, something that was introduced in Mario Sunshine. If not, it was definitely in Mario Galaxy, where you're getting parts of stars. So now it's all about finding missing shards. There's one in every room.
You feeling lucky, kid?
So probably should just look at that. Is this gonna let me through like that? Yeah, pretty easily. And she's counting. We had something similar in collecting the code pieces for the vaults, and then they stopped doing that in the rest of the game. So these holograms are going to tell us where the pieces are. Interesting. And that makes it slightly useful. There's these vending machines. Hmm. 11 pieces. Interesting. Does that mean that there was... Now I just collected a rift token without even trying. So, while there probably is a speedrun path here to do this particularly quickly, I think the real truth of the matter is this is probably pretty easy to do. Just gotta run around and go to different places.
You feeling lucky, kid?
Let's see. It looks like there's a collectible in the casino. Will we really have to gamble? Here's something. If they actually gave me 5 million pawns, that would be great. Need some chips to play. So 8 meters. We take these chips, we put them here. You feeling lucky? There was a shard stuck in the machine. Okay.
You look too young to gamble to me. Sorry, miss. Also, please stay off the desk.
So, yeah.
I have family in it is why
I don't want to really talk to any of these people though. They're annoying. They're too much. Let's see. Yeah, that kind of is the problem with this idea, is that by bringing back all the characters, you now have a lot of opportunity for a conversation that honestly I'd kind of prefer to not have to have. I'd much prefer to deal with just the seals at most, and not have to deal with birds and owls and other characters that I don't think are going to play a big role. Man, this jump is more difficult than it should be. There we go. this is now an area that isn't blocked off, so the danger is that there'd be a collectible up there, and yes there is. Okay, so we had already jumped up here, but they weren't ready for me to jump up here, which you could have fixed that easily by simply just having us start at the check-in desk and fade out and fade in, have us start at the check-in desk, and then find out about the broken pieces, and then run around the entire area. Right, what is the path we want to take here? Is it jump from here? I feel like I've gone too high. Did I go too high? Yes, I did. Alright, well, we'll just do that then. This is pretty slow, and you can tell just by the music how slow it is.
I hurt myself. Will you take me to the captain, please?
Alright, we haven't been to the captain? Can we carry this all the way? I guess we can. And we've gotten more doorways open. Is there a better passage? I feel like there was a better way to go. No, this doorway is locked. So I guess I have to... This is a lower path. So now we're carrying a injured seal. We're looking for collectibles. We're in the fire, a fire-filled safe. Now we're looking in the laundry room, and yeah, we're probably not going to get anything as far as a yarn ball. I bet we don't find any yarn balls in this DLC at all. I thought there would have been a thing in there, but apparently not. Back this direction other than stairs that I think most people would not find. Is this open? Yes. So some of these doors open also. And maybe these guys will give me some other kinds of missions to do. Why are all the tables floating around?
Mafia bit down on something hard in this food. Child should take it back to kitchen, please.
Alright. So now We're carrying 2 things. I mean, we can definitely see how little quests like this would have worked in the rest of the game. To either get shards to much more important, smaller amounts of timepieces, or to just accomplish something. Like, we've got an indicator here that tells me that there's something I'm supposed to be doing with the washing machine, but I didn't catch what it was. And I'm just trying to finish one thing at a time, I guess. See, the double jump just does not work. This is an elevator. See if this elevator helps us in any way. The problem I think that we run into now, though, is that we finish this incredibly long level, and what happens then? Like, do we... There's barbed wire on the playpen. That's not really kid-friendly. Like, are we gonna just run around this ship for 4 more levels with maybe a boss fight, or are we gonna do something different?
Hello! I need to get all these empty glasses, but I dropped them. Can you help me, miss?
So now she wants... They want me to collect a bunch of empty glasses. And this is definitely gonna go long. Feel like I'm gonna get an achievement at this rate for dropping glasses or stacking as many things as possible. And see, that was a totally different seal that gave us the reward compared to the one that really wanted us to collect the glasses. Right. They all seem to be downward. That didn't work. Kind of going in circles. A lot of button mashing too, a lot of jumping. I don't think we've been in this area. Okay. It says there's a collectible that direction, but where I want to go is this way. It says no seals beyond this point. So this is the captain's office. I was expecting something more at the head of the ship and an actual office.
I'm busy, pup. The ship doesn't steer itself. I said I'm busy. Don't you have anything better to do? They don't pay me enough for this.
So we're just gonna hit the button over and over again.
What do you want, pup? One of the crew hurt themselves again? What do I look like, a doctor? Kiss it better yourself.
Press down the smooch.
Thank you for kissing my ouchie, miss. I feel better already. I found a shiny glass, but it's all yours.
Wait, so could I have been smooching this whole time? Oh man, seriously? I could have been doing this the whole time? So up on the D-pad makes the face here, and down on the D-pad does that, and then left and right on the D-pad does that. Why didn't the game tell me I could do that? I feel very shortchanged now. Like, I could have been doing that to all the characters in a silly fashion this whole time, and you didn't tell me. It would have added a small amount of characterization, which, I mean, I keep having to beat this drum. I keep having to say there's not enough characterization of Hat Girl. If Hat Girl this whole time was making raspberries and kissing things, that would be something cool. That would change my perspective on her. There must be. Okay, there's rift tokens up there. So then how does one get up? I guess you have to do this. Alright. And then that's not right. Alright, that boat bounces me up. But this boat doesn't. If anything, this boat's actually particularly difficult to deal with. There's a rift token up there. Let's not bother with that rift token though. Like, it's just another collectible. Is there possibly something? Like, I guess the game is not going to do me any favors and point me in any other direction until I...
It's very hard to reach up these counters. Maybe we should have gotten some smaller ones.
Like, this laundry room has something I'm supposed to do in it. Some kind of platforming challenge.
These towels are very comfy. I'm supposed to be working, but it's so nice.
There's the visual glitch.
These towels, I'm supposed to...
Like, it really does just kind of feel like they're instituting child labor. Like, I don't know how you don't look at these seals and think that it's just child labor. Okay. So that general direction is the last piece of the timepiece. Yeah, that's pretty easy to see. And it just puts itself back together, and then it ends up in a location relatively far away. I mean, it's not really the greatest is there?
You're feeling lucky, kid?
Yeah. The easiest way is also the hardest way, because I have to get over here, jump on this, get up here, dash, and then run around this part. Actually, that didn't take as long as I thought it might. But what are the other acts in this level? Run around the ship some more, or does the ship, a rare sticker appeared somewhere, go find it? They're not even telling you where now. That's pretty bad. So are there going to be 2 or 3, maybe 4 time rifts on the boat, and we have several more acts on the boat? Or are we going to crash the boat or take the boat to other locations? Let's see if we can see what the name of the next level is. Yeah. Next level is Ship Shape. And we now know that this is a time rift that probably could only work or be collected in Bon Voyage. I don't know if this had soap in it before. Item wise though, all we have is like 9 time rift tokens, and if there's supposed to be a collectible somewhere, it's not in this spaceship area. So they're being particularly obscure to say that it's somewhere, because that kind of means it has to be in either the first or the second piece of DLC. We have 36 now. The game started with 40 timepieces. We're gonna have more than 40. Not that it really matters. And there's no more relics, and so it is just a matter of using these rift tokens to... Do we want a remix, or do we want a new color palette? Hat flare. Like, I don't even think I have any more hat color palettes, because it's not offering any. And let's face it, a lot of these color palettes were not good. And we're just gonna keep on getting slight variants on the hat. So look, let's just, this hat is equipped with no color palette on. It has a bow. If we instead equip this hat, it doesn't have a bow. That's pretty pathetic to have to find 3 collectible rift tokens throughout the level just to get a bow in your hat. And it is very contradictory to the marketplace concept. You really can't have like player created content as far as stickers and skins and have that be given away for free almost certainly, and then have the other players have the content made by the actual creators of the game make you jump through a bunch of hoops to get rift tokens to get that content. I imagine there is some mod out here that would just reskin Hat Girl completely, and there's like nothing. Yeah, there's no way you would know. Yeah, there's no way I know where the sticker is. I'd have to jump into every single level, and that was a scenario I thought about, certainly. It did occur to me that maybe at some point we would have to go to every single level Chapter 1 didn't have a finale. That seems like an oversight too. Now effectively the finale of the main game is the finale of Chapter 1, but it doesn't feel that way. Well, it's been another 55 minutes playing the game, and we still don't have a new weapon. It doesn't seem like we're ever going to get one. So it kind of makes no sense that this even exists in the game. It would have been easier just to not have it. You could have instead had the settings bar under badges, and then you could have scaled everything up a little bit more. And then they added the contract stuff later. We know of one badge, and we have 400 of the 800 pawns needed to get that final badge. We're probably not getting another hat, so the 9 extra yarns kind of don't make sense. At a certain point, the yarns should have just magically changed into rift tokens or currency. Oh, I could have re-rolled 2 more times, I guess, with rift tokens, and I didn't even bother. Color palette wise, I question if we're going to get any more. We're not going to get any more collectibles really in the game. I'm never going to bother to play with the mods. I'm never going to bother to play with the online party. I'm almost certainly not going to bother to do the Death Wish. I'm never going to bother to do the co-op. Honestly, this game is not really long enough for co-op, so it only would make sense if you had a very young sibling that just wanted to run around and screw around for a few minutes. It would just shorten the experience of the game, which wouldn't really improve the game if that happened. To have online party enabled or co-op enabled. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.